In this video, we're going to be talking about how to cold call the right way in real estate. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to cold call the right way in real estate. All right. It's really basic. All right. How to cold call the right way in real estate really just comes down to you knowing a couple basic principles. All right. First and foremost, if you are going to be doing cold calling for real estate, I would highly recommend that you get an auto dialer. And the reason I really like an auto dialer is because it's going to allow you to call 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10 different people at the same time. Now, my team uses a batch dialer, and there'll be a link below this video where you can actually go get a 7-day free trial of the batch dialer. And you can get unlimited outbound calling for free for 7 days to test it out. Now, when it comes to cold calling, the first and most important thing that I would say is do it. Actually doing it is going to get you light years ahead of those who are just contemplating it. So if you want to start cold calling for real estate leads, start doing it. Boom. That's it. That's the first thing. All right. The second thing that I would keep in mind is use the auto dialers because it's really going to make it way more efficient. You know, with an auto dialer, you can dial anywhere from 200 to 500 people or numbers in an hour versus maybe only, 20 or 30 manual dials in an hour. So number one, start doing it. Number two, use an auto dialer. And if you click the link below this video, you can actually see that I use the batch dialer, and that the batch dialer will give you a 7-day free trial with unlimited outbound calling and a free phone number just so you can get started and learn the process. Now, number three is having a really good call script. All right. And there's really only basically about 6 things that can happen when you cold call somebody. So when we're cold calling, we typically cold call leads that we pull from an online list provider or leads that we generate on our own via Driving for Dollars. Those are actually my favorite leads, the Driving for Dollars leads. But if you aren't able to drive in your local market, or maybe you're doing virtual or whatever, you can go online to places like PropStream or Batch Leads, my personal favorite, to actually pull these leads. You can get leads for absentee-owned properties. You can get leads for vacant properties. You can get leads for high equity, probate, pre-foreclosure, etc., etc. The list goes on and on and on. My 2 personal favorites are vacants and absentees. All right, so now that you have your leads and you have yourself an auto dialer, you're going to want to use a call script. And one of my favorite call scripts is by my buddy Brent Daniels over at TTP. And I'm actually looking at that script right now. And I'm going to go through some of the things that Brent teaches in his program. All right, but you're going to learn it in this video. So number one, part one, how do you open the call? Well, that is so incredibly simple. In fact, here's what I do. I say, hello, I'm looking for their name, right? And then I'm going to say, this is David. And I know this call might be out of the blue, but I was calling about a property I believe you own at, and then you're going to say the address. And then you're going to say, I just wanted to see if you would consider an offer on the property or if you had interest in selling the property. And that's the intro. That's the opening to the call. It is so incredibly simple. Part two, how to close the call. And again, there's only 6 responses that you're typically going to get. At least 95% of the responses you get are going to fall within these 6 categories. So response 1, and we're going to go through all the responses, and then we're going to circle back and we're going to talk about how do you respond to each of these. So response 1, typically you're going to get is just yes. Very simple. Response 2, yes, how much will you give me? All right. Response 3 is yes, maybe in the future. Response 4 is just no. Very simple. Response 5 is most likely going to be how or where did you get my number? And response 6 is going to be who are you? And I'm telling you guys, 95% or more of the responses that you're going to get from that opening of the call are going to fall into these 6 response categories. So let's break each one down. If they respond with yes, all you got to say is, okay, great. Well, we purchase properties with cash. We pay all the closing costs, and there are no real estate commissions when you work with us. And the best part is we buy them completely as is. So if you don't have to put another cent into the property, so for an offer like that, how much would you take? And that's how you're going to want to respond to the response they give you of yes. All right, moving on. If they say, this is response 2 now, yes, how much will you give me? You're going to tailor that pitch just a little different. So what you're going to say is, well, hey, it looks like homes, in the area of about, and you're going to pull up the square footage on what you may find on Zillow, which is a free resource. The square foot, or it looks like your home is this square foot. And again, you find that on Zillow. Is that right? Okay. And it should be right because that's their square footage. And then you're going to say, have you done any major remodeling to the kitchen and the bathrooms in the past 5 years? And you're basically doing that to see if they've done any updates to the property. Next, you're going to qualify their timeline. So typically we can close in 2 weeks to 30 days. Does that timeline work for you? Next, you're going to qualify their price. We are buying homes similar to yours for around 60 to 70% of the Zestimate. All right? Is that how much you are thinking? So instead of saying 60 to 70% of the Zillow's estimate, pull up the Zestimate on their property and multiply it by 0.6 or 0.7 to get that actual number. Don't ever offer them a percentage, offer them a real number. And if you want to use a spread, 60 to 70%, use the real numbers, that's fine too. Alternately, for qualifying the price, you can say, well, you know what? My partner runs all the numbers, so let me talk to him and call you back really soon. Is that going to be okay? Very important tip here. If the condition of the property is poor, all right, and or their motivation is high, get the appointment immediately. Don't wait to make an offer. Try to set the appointment, figure out a time that works for the two of you to where you can meet them and go view the property and make a friend. Even if their price is too high, but the condition of the property is poor, or you seek motivation, set the appointment. And you can say something like this. Hey, I'm actually in the area today or tomorrow afternoon. Do you mind if I swing by and take a look and I can give you more information? Guys, this is so incredibly simple. All right, response 3, yes, maybe in the future. What you're going to then say is, okay, great. Should I call you back in a month? I'm really looking for something that needs some love. Have you done any major remodeling to the kitchen and bathrooms in the past 5 years? Again, you want to see if there's been any updates. And then you can say, please save my number under, and then give them your name and home buyer in your phone in case anything changes. So you are actually encouraging them to save your number and your name plus home buyer in their phone. So if things change in the future, they know who to call. All right, guys, response number 4, no. So you call and you open with, hi, I'm looking for this person. My name is Dave, and I know this call is out of the blue, but I was calling about a property I believe you own over at this address. I just want to see if you consider an offer on that property or if you had interest in selling it. And if their response is no, then you can just say, I completely understand. Do you happen to have any other properties that you would consider selling? Maybe something that needs to be fully remodeled or something that needs a little love. You already have them on the phone. Ask them if they own any other properties. And guys, there's really only 2 other responses that you're going to typically get 95+% of the time. Response 5, how or where did you get my number? This is one of the most common ones, I feel like. And my response is so simple. It's I have an internet provider named LexisNexis, or I use an online company that I send over addresses to that I'm interested in purchasing, and they have the phone numbers of the owners that they send back to me. And sometimes I get lucky, right? That's it. That's the response. The last response of who are you? Again, one of the most common ones. Who are you? All you have to say is I am a local real estate buyer or investor looking to do tasteful remodels in the area. That's it. It is so incredibly simple. So how to cold call the right way in real estate is really actually pretty simple, guys. Number 1, start. All right, stop procrastinating and go out and drive for dollars and get leads or buy a list of motivated seller leads. Number 2, get an auto dialer. Right? If you want to do this one by one, that's totally fine. It's going to take you a lot of time. My favorite tool is Batch Dialer because they give you a 7-day free trial in unlimited calling to test it out. My entire team uses the Batch Dialer. In fact, we have 3 or 4 people every single day on there using it, and we typically have 3 or 4 lines dialing simultaneously. And then last but not least is use a good call script. And I walked you through one of my favorite call scripts today. But if you head on over to discountpropertyinvestor.com and you look for the resources area, you can actually find a couple call scripts that we have available for you to download for free. So do not stress on how to cold call the right way in real estate. You just learned the basics in this video. And if you liked this video, hit that like button for me and drop a comment and tell me, how you are currently cold calling. And I would love to communicate with you more. And if you like this video and you want more just like it, guys, hit that subscribe button for me. And I look forward to making more videos just like this to help you become a better real estate investor. So do not let that analysis paralysis kick in. Just start. Click the link below to get that free trial. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next video.